But he is going to be met hard and met fast by number 31 of that defense, Darrell Green, a name that I have said again and again tonight. Darrell Green making a huge tackle.
Welcome to 24 Hour Sports. You are now here with Darrell Green. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I just want to know, when you come to this channel, we're going to keep it real. We keeping it real within the sports world. And I just want to know, why is nobody talking about the Cincinnati Bengals? I'm looking at this season and I see a lot of similarities to that team last season. I'm jumping ahead, but I'm going to be the one to say it. And I'm going to double down on that take because I've watched the Bengals and I've seen them play with and without Jamarr Chase. And I've been convinced. That this is a team that can really contend. My only thing is with this team, I believe they can still be attacked on the perimeter. I'm not too high on their corners. I like Mike Hilton, but Eli Apple, those other guys, it's not good enough for me. It's not good enough for me. I like the defensive line, DJ Reader, Trey Hendrickson. I like the back end. I love Logan Wilson. The love I have for linebackers. I love Logan Wilson, Jesse Bates, all of those guys. I believe it's a solid defense. I don't believe it's an elite defense like a San Francisco, like a Philly, like a Buffalo. I don't believe it's on that level, but I still think it's a pretty good, solid defense. And that's a top five offense. I made a video prior in the season stating how I think Joe Burrow can make his way into the MVP race, and he still can. With Tua having that blunder, who are you putting in that number 3 spot? Think about it. Number 1, I got Jalen Hurts. Number 2, I got Mahomes. They lost to Burrow, but I got Mahomes still at number 2. And number 3, we've seen the Buffalo Bills struggling as of late, and it's not like it's the defense's fault. It's been because of Josh Allen. So who do you have in that number 3 slot? I believe it's up for the taking. Joe Burrow can fit right in that spot. And I'm just looking at that team, like I said, top 5 offense, and I believe the formula for them to continue winning is one with Joe Mixon. He didn't play against the Chiefs, and Samaje Perine came in and balled out. And I expect to see some of that continue going on even when Joe Mixon comes back. But Joe Mixon, he has to get the ball. You didn't pay a running back for no reason. He can catch it out of the backfield. He can run the ball. I understand sometimes you may get pass happy. You got Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase. It's easy to get pass happy. But one thing I want to spot out, because I have to take this back. I've been so harsh on the offensive line, and they're starting to get it together. See, a lot of people, they said you spend all this money on this offensive line and they got worse. But what do we know about offensive lines? It's about continuity. It's about a group. I have to know if you're going to pick up that block. I have to know where my help is. I have to know where the double team is. I have to know what my assignment is here. And I think they're starting to get some of that continuity, some of that chemistry. I think they're starting to get some of that now because they're not giving up as much sacks as they were early in the season. And that's a big part of why that offense is being able to do what it did. Look at how they played against Pittsburgh week 1. That was a very disgusting, horrible, ugly game. And compared to what we're seeing now, they're able to beat Kansas City. So I think it's just a lot of progression, a lot of things we're seeing there. And like I said, I just see a lot of things from last season that I'm seeing now. Starting off kind of rough, injuries, offensive line struggling. Things are just not looking as good. I was harsh on Zach Taylor. Because I didn't like a lot of his play calling. But now I'm starting to see some of the chemistry. You got to give things time in football. This is a very impatient sport. But patience solves everything. And if it doesn't, then that's when people need to get fired and go. But it solved things for this team, and they're looking better. Because last season, when we look at it, we seen some of those struggles early in the season, and then they got hot going into the playoffs. They weren't too hot as far as winning games, but when the playoffs came, they hit the ground rolling. So now let's look at their next stretch of games. And see what could they possibly finish this season. So this week, I'm looking at they got the Browns. I think that's a very, very winnable game in this division. They got the Buccaneers after the Browns. That's going to be a tough game. That Bucs defense is playing good. Brady and that offense still haven't gotten it going, but that Bucs defense is still good. They got the Patriots after that. What is the Patriots? Everybody's talking about Bill Belichick was making look good by Tom Brady. They're saying he's not that same guy, and he's being exposed. I'm not one of those believers. I think Mac Jones has degressed. From what he was last season. So that plays a part into it. I like that defense. They still play tough. They're still competitive. But going into their next game, They got the Bills. See, now the Bucks and the Bills, those are the two tough games I'm looking at. And then the Ravens. Lamar should be back healthy, playing pretty good by that game. So that's going to be a tough one. But honestly, they have room to win this division. They have room. The Ravens should have never been in position to lose this division. But we know I've made the video saying that what they do in the clutch time is not clutch. And the Bengals are in position to win this division now. So looking at it, it just looks good. And you know, division winners, they get an immediate playoff spot. That's a playoff clinch. So I think they win that division. And a lot of good things are looking up for the Bengals. A lot of good things are looking up for the Bengals. I believe they're looking like they did last season. Do you believe they're looking like they did last season? Let me know below in the comments. Let me know what you want to see next. We out.